Hello, my name is Diala Dawood, and today we're going to be talking about a project titled A Modulated Wideband Converter Model based on linear algebra and its application to fast calibration. We are going to look into how advanced linear algebra techniques can be applied to improve signal processing systems, especially in wideband converter models. We're going to talk about both the mathematical foundation and the practical application, demonstrating how tools like PCA and SVD can simplify data processing and enhance calibration speed and accuracy. Moving on to the next slide, here's a brief summary of what we are going to discuss in this presentation. Firstly, we're going to start with the abstract, which summarizes the key goals of this research, which are mainly the use of linear algebra in facial expression recognition and how it relates to efficient data handling. Next, we'll go into the main developments where we'll explain the specific techniques used, such as principal component analysis, which is known as PCA, and singular value decomposition, which is known as SVD, and how they support dimensionality reduction and feature extraction. Then we'll share a comment on the benefits of using linear algebra, highlighting how it simplifies high-dimensional problems and improves classification accuracy in systems like biometric recognition. Finally, we'll present the citation, which is the original published article that this work is based on. This presentation will guide us through both the theory and the real-world impact of applying linear algebra in signal and image processing.
I'm Randa Rashnan, and I will consist the abstract of this article. This article focuses on the use of mathematical and linear algebra techniques, particularly PCA, principal component analysis, and CVD, singular value decomposition. In this context, of facial expression recognition system. Also, the study emphasizes the significance of these linear algebra tools is in processing high-dimensional image data and enabling robust pattern recognition, especially for applications in human-computer interaction and biometric security systems. Next. Also, it highlights how these methods are applied for dimensionality reduction and feature extraction from facial images, which improves the efficiency and accuracy of emotion classification. Also, this image shows the more components recovered, the clearer and the facial expressions and emotions. Next.
I'm Hala Abulail, and I'm going to talk about the main developments. So this article shows us some important linear algebra techniques, especially in the fields of image processing and recognition. Two of the main tools is used are singular value decomposition and principal component analysis. Now, moving to the next slide. The SVD is applied here mainly for feature extraction in facial images. It helps reduce the size of the data by breaking down complex images matrices into simple components. This is not only lower cost, but also keeps the most important information, basically the stuff that's actually useful for classification imaging. As the picture shows, the law of the CVD at the left side. And now the PCA, which is also about reducing dimensions, but in a slightly different way. It transforms the original high dimensional data into a new set of dimensions that still hold into the essential patterns in data. This is based on something called decomposition, which is a core concept in linear algebra. By doing this, the PCA helps to simplify the data while it really matters for recognizing patterns. As the picture for the PCA, it shows how it goes from 3D to 2D. So overall, both techniques work together to make the image data more meaningful, especially when you are trying to identify or classify the pattern efficiency. Next.
So hello, I'm Aya Aish, and I'll be proceeding with the main developments. So presenting how linear algebra plays a fundamental role in facial recognition systems based on the article that we studied. So to begin with, one of the main ideas discussed is actually how grayscale images can be represented as matrices. And each pixel intensity becomes a matrix element, which allows us to apply linear algebra operations such as matrix multiplication and decomposition directly to the image. This mathematical representation is what actually enables us, and it enables the image transformations and manipulations at a computational level. The article, we could say, also focuses on another important thing, which is the eigenvectors and the eigenvalues, which are crucial in techniques like principal component analysis or the PCA, as previously mentioned. These help us identify the directions in which the image data varies the most. And this way we can extract the most important features of a face, reducing noise and focusing only on the details that matter for recognition. Lastly, we could say these techniques help us project high dimensional image data into lower dimensional subspaces. This means we can take very detailed images and reduce them into simpler forms without losing the essential information. And this is incredibly helpful and important for classification and clustering tasks, making algorithms faster and more efficient. Now moving on to the next slide, we see some examples of how linear algebra appears in action. The circulant matrix at the top left is a special kind of matrix, which each row is a rotated version of the previous one. And these matrices are actually useful in image and signal processing because they model repetitive patterns efficiently. And the cyclic permutation matrix shown below it is another way to shift data in a structured, predictable, and it's also important for image manipulation. The diagram on the right, on the other hand, it actually explains how signals are acquired using matrix operations and showing how input signals go through transformations like filtering and sampling, and each step involving linear algebra techniques. These methods help in efficiently capturing and processing signals, which directly connects to how we deal with image data and facial recognition systems.
Overall, the article underscores the central role of linear algebra in transforming, compressing, and classifying image data in facial recognition systems.
Okay, so in conclusion, we could say the article clearly demonstrates that linear algebra is more than just a theory, and it allows us to simplify and manage high dimensional data, boosting both computational speed and recognition accuracy. It's a key benefit of using linear algebra in this article to efficiently handle and simplify these images. And that's important, as we say, it's what makes it a core tool in modern biometric systems and smart technologies. And we could also say that it doesn't only improve the computational efficiency, but also enhances the classification accuracy, which makes the system more practical and reliable for real world applications in biometric security. And this is the citation or the resources we've used, and that's the article that we discussed and explained. And thank you for listening to our presentation.